Namaste, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening or their ascension process. Today is going to be a May 2017 new moon energy update. I wasn't going to make one today. I just didn't really feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel very strongly and passionate about making an energy update. Other times I don't. This is one of those times, but out of curiosity, I was just looking around online and I happened to catch a few other energy reports, and they were extremely negative, almost like warning you of all the crummy things that are bound to happen due to the astrology. And that's, even though again, I didn't feel that passion to share, I don't feel that. I feel of course, usually moons, the energy is intense, so it can be challenging at times, but I feel I have a different spin on it, and I'd like to share that and put out maybe a more positive message out there for you. So I sort of brainstormed and broke this message down into a few different themes, which I'll get into right now. Number one is you might find that you are suddenly able to, if you try, to implement the changes that maybe you've been wrestling with for quite some time. I think you'll have an easier time, maybe more willpower now as you go to make whatever positive shifts or changes that you've decided that you wish to make based on the data your life is giving you. Don't be discouraged if you failed in the past. There are cycles, energetic cycles, that are not really about making forward moving positive changes. Rather, it's about the expansion of your consciousness and the sudden awareness of problems or misalignments in your life. There's times where it's all about learning and learning and learning and learning and learning, but now is a time of doing, implementing, acting based on the information you've been given. So give it a try. If there's maybe you've been meaning to start a new habit, or I don't know, eat healthier, start an exercise program, start writing that blog, start making those YouTube videos, whatever it is, maybe you felt like you were running into a brick wall every time you would go to and make an attempt. But it's important to be persistent and keep trying regardless. Because again, I believe now you'll find that you'll exert the same amount of desire and attempt, same like energy behind that attempt, but I think you'll feel that you'll discover that it'll just go smoother. It'll just be a little bit easier. You'll wonder why. Well, the astrology, the energies are changing, and now is the time of forward moving action. Number two, I think you'll just start to realize how much you've grown, based on not what you've changed in your reality. As I often say, many times we will keep ourselves in physical situations, relationships, jobs, etc., because it's such a catalyst for growth. And even though we're growing tremendously, it doesn't always reflect immediately. But what you start to realize is that you change. The way you react to familiar cycles and situations becomes noticeably different. I think you'll find that you have more faith, more genuine faith. Not just that you say, have faith, Victor. I know it's tough, but you got to have faith. I mean, you will actually feel faithful in spite of evidence that might be singing a different tune. This year has not been easy. It's really been stretching us to our limits. No matter who you are or what you're doing, you've been stretched, you've been challenged. But you're still here. It's the summer now, and you're still standing. You've made a lot of changes, and this is going to give you an authentic faith, an unwavering faith that does not depend on things going smoothly. Faith is about having that confidence and optimism even when things aren't going your way. I'm not saying that things won't go your way. I think for a lot of you they will. But regardless, you're going to have that real faith. And when you have that, so many doors all of a sudden that were once locked, closed, open up. There are things that you might not have ever attempted because you lacked that courage, confidence, and faith. But when you have that, you realize that within yourself, then again, those flashy golden doors that have been locked, you start to stand up and say, you know what? I'm gonna try for this door. I'm not gonna settle. I'm gonna go for the gold. I'm gonna climb that mountain because I have the faith that I will be able to see this through. And I don't need things to go my way. I don't need motivation or inspiration because I know I am a trooper. Number 3, you might start to notice that your consciousness is expanding. That's something that's fun to say. Oh, I want to expand my consciousness. It's another thing to actually experience. And you are. And as you do, you start to view your sense of self become seen differently, broader. You start to see how you, as a soul, fits in with the grand scheme of things. And as you do, it takes the edge off of the stresses of life, because stress implies a me, an identity, a self. You start to see yourself as part of a bigger self. And it can just give you a greater sense of meaning. It can, again, reduce the stresses of life that are typically only experienced by the egoic personality construct that thinks it needs to always be defending itself and preserving itself. You realize that, you know what? You just sort of relax a little bit. You relax a little bit and kind of dig in to the groove and the pulse of the whole. This sounds kind of abstract, I realize, but what I'm trying to say is that you'll just find yourself maybe contemplating your purpose more and becoming more aware of where you fit into all of this. Most of us, up until recently, have been living incredibly unconscious lives and have deviated far off our path. But this stressful awakening has been slowly bringing us in more unison and more harmony with our path. And in doing so, you just start to see yourself, again, more in the context of how you fit into the whole, rather than a fragile self that's always on guard. Lastly, there seems to be a lot of energy, a lot of Kundalini activation going on right now. It's just the summer, especially the onset of summer, tends to be very energetically charged. Kind of like how I feel now. I'm at Arches National Park in Utah, and I'm at like 5,000 foot elevation, and these rocks, these structures give off like an energy. And I think the people on the planet, you guys, are going to feel a lot of energy, a lot of Kundalini energy. And this can affect you in many different ways. On one hand, it's energizing. You feel good and pumped up. At the same time, at other times of the day, randomly, you'll feel tired because our bodies are still adjusting. Kind of like me, I'm adjusting to the elevation. I'm adjusting. This energy is very healing and positive and potent. And on one level, it's like, ooh. But I find myself tired and kind of dragging. And it took me a couple attempts to make this video. You might even hear it in my voice. I'm kind of like, I just have a lack of energy, even though I feel really like psyched up. It's sort of a paradox. And that's sort of the nature of Kundalini. And I just think that a lot of people are going to start finding themselves having like the Kundalini activation, Kundalini awakening type symptoms, the feeling of the energy and vibrations in their body, maybe the closed eyes visuals when you go to sleep at night, just you feel like a pulse. That's a good thing though, man. This energy in itself is somewhat benign, but what it's doing, it's clearing us out, it's cleaning us out, opening our chakras. It's facilitating an actual, authentic transformation process that's going to allow us to open up to more of our true self, undiluted and obscured by the personality structure that we've acquired in this lifetime. And in doing so, what does that really imply? It implies you feel really good. You feel relaxed, like finally actually chilled out. Sometimes you don't realize how uptight you are until you get a taste of what it's like to be relaxed. You go, oh my God, you realize, damn, I've been walking around like this all my life and I don't even know it. And the Kundalini is going to kind of force you to feels good. It takes a lot of energy to preserve the personality and the ego. It takes a lot of energy to uphold the mask and persona that we feel we need to present to the world. And when you finally can just chill out, understand your role in the grand scheme of things, you're not that big, at the same time you are. You get to really relax into the natural energy of peace and happiness that's always been there. We've just been pushing it away. So anyway, guys, hopefully, again, this my take on this new moon will give you a little bit of hope and optimism if you're struggling. I think there are good things on the horizon. I think we're bound to experience a lot of good stuff, feeling good stuff coming into our lives, contrary to what, again, I've been reading on the internet. Take it for what you will. It's just my own perspective, nothing more than that. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're all having an amazing day. I'll speak to you soon. Namaste.